glory, glory, glory. Glory, 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 glory. Here we are, as you can see. Here we are, as you can see. Here we are, here we are, here we are. I want to discuss some matters. We need to study something very big today, tonight, by the grace of our living Jesus Christ. So we appreciate God. We appreciate God. We just have some few minutes, maybe some 15 to 20 minutes, because we need to study something. There's a mystery concerning the double portion of Elijah. There is a mystery concerning the double portion of Elijah. Most of people that are having many arguments concerning this matter. Most of people that are having many things, they are talking many things, having many stories concerning the double portion of Elijah. But there's something which I need to speak, to talk about, to cause an understanding in people's mind, in people's knowledge today, which they don't know, concerning the double portion of Elijah. There's something which the Spirit of the Lord revealed it unto me about Elijah. So people, let's make sure that we having a pen, we having something to record these things, because we need to learn something very vital today. So there is something about the double portion of the spirit of Elijah. I heard many people, they said that Elijah performed 15 miracles, and then and Elisha performed 30, which was times 2, which means that was the double portion of Elijah. But I want to make you to cause an understanding unto you. Elisha never performed greater miracles than of this man Elijah. Elisha never performed greater miracles than of Elijah. Elijah was carrying the fullness. Elijah was pegged. Elijah was such a powerful man of God. So you need to understand something, that you cannot compare these two, because Elijah will be always greater. Elijah will always greater than Elisha. Remember, Elisha was carrying just what? Portions, not the fullness. Was carrying what? Portions. So there's a difference between carrying the fullness and carrying portions of what? Of the Spirit. So Elisha was just carrying portions of Elijah, but Elijah himself was carrying what? The double portion. Listen, I want you to understand something. Let's open the book of Kings. We need to learn something very, very strange here. There is a mystery. There's a mystery hidden here in this text. Ladush Amahanda Vivini Karuna Valakrus Ambriadeviki. We need to learn something. We need to learn something, people of God. We need to learn something. We need to learn something. Open the book of Kings, chapter 2. Open the book of Kings, chapter 2. We need to learn about the double portion of the spirit of Elijah. Sandu vajele vino sevri hivini viatantalahazias. Okay. Let's start it from verse 9. And when he had crossed, okay, let's start it from verse 8. And Elijah took his cloth, rolled it up, and struck the waters with it. And then the water divided to the right and to the left. And the two of them crossed over on a dry ground. When they had crossed, Elijah said to Elisha, "Tell me, what can I do for you before I'm taken from you?" Let me inherit double portion of your spirit. Elisha replied, you have asked a difficult. If you see me when I'm taken from you, it will be yours, otherwise it will not. As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and a horse of fire appeared and separated two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in his garment and tore it into two. Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak and had fallen from him, and went back into and stood on the bank of the Jordan. And he took the cloth that had fallen from Elijah and struck the water with it. Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah? He asked. When he struck the water, it divided to right and to the left, and he crossed over. Listen, when you can read it, how Elijah divided water is different like the way Elisha divided the waters. When you can check, when Elijah took his cloth, he smite the water, and the water divided. He never said any words. He was quiet, but the water did what it did open. But when you go down, you read about Elisha, how Elisha did it. Elijah spoke a words, and the water listened to him. So no matter how great you are, no matter how double spirit you are carrying, you cannot be greater to a person who has given you the spirit. No matter how big, no matter how anointed, the double you are carrying, triple. But as long as you are not carrying the fullness, you are not greater. As you can even read in the word of God, the Bible said that a master is a servant is not greater than his master. No matter how much double Elisha was carrying, he could not beat the standard of who? Of Elijah. So there is this thing people that like to understand here is Elijah never prayed. Okay, listen to me. When Elisha parted the waters, he prayed, he cried unto the Lord. But we never heard the results of Friday. Listen, when Elisha prayed, he cried unto the Lord. He said that, oh Lord, where is the God of Elijah? He called into the God of who? Of his mentor, of his father, of the person who gave him double of the spirit. So listen to me, no matter how much you are imparted, you cannot be greater than the person who have imparted you. This is what is who is Elisha. He was imparted, but he prayed. But the person who was carrying the fullness, who was carrying the spirit from above, who was carrying the fullness of God, he never prayed, but he smited the water, and water were open. We never hear him praying, but he just smite, and the water parted into the left, and they walk into a dry ground. Listen to me, a servant is not greater than his master. A servant will always be down. A servant will always looking up unto his master. No matter how much my father has imparted me, he can impart the double portion of his spirit. I cannot be greater than him, because the things which he can see while he's sitting, I never see them while I'm standing. So when you can read this, is that his portion is not the fullness. He never said that give me the fullness of your spirit, but he said that give me portions, meaning that it's parts. It's parts. It means that give me network. We are experiencing network problem, but we bless the living God. We are back. Listen, no matter how much you are imparted, how much you are great, how much you are carrying the fullness, listen to me, you cannot be greater than your master. always submit to your master. Always listen to the voice of your master, because the things which he's seeing while he's sitting down, you cannot see them while you are standing. This is Elisha. Elisha was having double of the spirit of Elijah, but he was not great, and they never did greater miracle than of what? Of Elijah. Because when you can check, Elijah called fire from heaven, and fire fell down to his enemies. When you can check Elisha, what Elisha did, Elisha he did what? He just cursed, and a bear come out, meaning that a certain thing was influenced, and these things was coming from where? From the bush. A bear was coming from the bush, but Elijah, he called fire, and fire comes straight from heaven and do what? And consume his enemy. And he consumed how many? When you can check, 50 came, maybe more than 150. He consumed more than 150 people with what? With fire. But Elisha just killed smaller children. So there is something which I need to tell you, people of God. No matter how much you are carrying the double portion, no matter how much you are carrying a double portion, never do what? Never think that you have arrived. Never think that you are there. Never think that you have already reached. Never think that you have done everything in life. Listen to me. There are people who are giving you a spirit. They are still carrying higher authority. They are still carrying higher dominion, higher levels, higher powers. I don't know if people they are getting this. I don't know if people they are getting this. But listen to me. Elisha was carrying two portions of Elijah. 2 portions of Elijah, but he was not great than Elijah. Elijah did mysterious miracles. He did extraordinary miracles, which Elisha could not reach them. And when Elisha tried to do them, he could cry. He could do what? He could sweat to perform such miracles. But Elijah performed those miracles quiet, without a sweat, without a shout, without crying. I don't know if people are hearing this. There's some spirit which your father can cast out just with a by pointing on that spirit, and the spirit ran away. And you will sweat for that spirit to come out. But as long as you will submit, as long as you will do what? You will humble yourself. You will humble yourself into the higher authority, is where